Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our 12th and final reconciliation episode in this particular series. Before I do start, I just would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that I'm currently on. I'm here in Baldwin Kew, on the land of the Wurundjeri people. I pay respect to their elders past, present and emerging, and I extend that to lands where you're currently on too, and pay respect to elders past and present. We're lucky enough to actually have our Welcome to Country tonight by Aunty Leanne Sumner, who is down in Gunditjamara land at the moment. I'll throw you over to Aunty Leanne.
Natwa, which means welcome in my language. So I'm a proud Gunditjamara woman of the Kulin Nations, and I'd like to acknowledge the Aboriginal land that we're meeting on today. Today I'm on my traditional lands, the land of the Gunditjamara people. So I hope you too can acknowledge the lands that you're on, and if you're not, can you make it a priority to find out where you are so you can join in too? I'd like to pay my respects to our elders, past, present and emerging, for they hold the memories, the traditions, the culture and the hopes of our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people across the state of Victoria, the lands of the Kulin Nations people. My hope is for a better understanding and respect for Aboriginal cultures and to support an enriched appreciation of Australia's cultural heritage that hopefully leads to reconciliation and a development of an Australian identity that includes our original history. I believe in showing respect for the land that we live on, as it provides a connection and improves our well-being and care of each other. If we respect the land and its people, we would be in a much better and healthier place. I'm really excited for you to be attending tonight with AJ. I've known him for many years and I've participated in many of his sessions. And I can't tell you how exciting it's going to be tonight, and I'm sure you're going to get a lot out of it. So, thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, Aunty Leanne. Well, guys, we've had a really big year this year. We've actually launched our RAP just over 12 months ago. We've actually been meeting some of the deliverables, including the series that we've got here tonight. This has been a series of 12. We've looked at, we've talked to VACA, we've talked to Reconciliation Australia, we talked to the Grandmothers Against Removal. We've had, I'm going off the top of my head, I didn't write anything down because I thought I'd remember all this. I've got, we had the Department of Education, the Koori Education Support Officers, VAI and Snake in as well. So it's been quite a big packed year. All the recordings are up on the AGECS website, and they're also on the Girraway Ganyi Consultancy YouTube channel. What we are looking at tonight is our first performer who is not here yet. That's the issue. That's what I was waiting for. So I'm just going to ask Carissa, are you ready to go?
I guess so.
I'm going to throw you over to our third performer, Carissa, and after Carissa, I'll go back to Shiralee, okay? Because Shiralee's actually performing tonight as well. So she's going to squeeze us in. So I'm going to go straight over to Carissa and introduce you to one of the... I love listening to Carissa perform. I won't say too much. I'll get Carissa to explain exactly what she's doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, Carissa.
Hi. Thanks so much for having me, AJ and everybody else. I am a Yorta Yorta Jar Jar Wurrung woman. I currently live on the lands of the Boonwurrung peoples down on the Mornington Peninsula. So, always very grateful to be able to live in such a beautiful place and, spend time out on this country. I'll sing you a few songs. I'm not quite sure how long I've got it. I think it was 15 on the run sheet. I'll just sing a few songs. I'll start off with a song in Jar Jar Wurrung language. It's called Wanyara, and Wanyara means water, and it means any body of water. So sometimes language will be really specific. It might be, you know, we have a different word for salt water, we have a different word for fresh water. And yeah, this word is for all the different beautiful bodies of water that we have in this amazing country. And I love water. My people are freshwater people. I grew up on a big river. I now live on the coast with salt water, so I'm always in the water surfing. And when I wrote this song, it was actually for water and for the land. It wasn't actually for people. I never intended it for it to be for people. It's a song that I like to sing, and I know a lot of our mob do. We sing country. So when I'm out on country, I'll sing this song to let country know that I'm there. It's a way that I connect on that real level, and that's something that's really important to me. So yeah, you might not know all the words that I'm singing, but it is about that water, and also I extend that out to the land and sky country as well. Hopefully you can hear me properly. No mics or anything. It's going to be raw. Wanyera, 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 wanyera. Jak 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 berwara, jak 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 berwara. Wanyera, 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 wanyera. Jara, jara, maramea yugara. Jara, jara, maramea yugara. Wanyera, 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 wanyera. Wataka, wataka, maramea yugara. Wataka, wataka, maramea yugara. Wanyera, wanyera. I can't hear you. Oh, thanks. I'm going to try with the guitar. Hopefully it sounds all right. Thank you. Can you hear that all right? Yeah, cool. It's kind of nice sound here in my lounge room. This is a new song that I just released, actually. I haven't released much music. I've always found the process quite unnatural, and I really struggled with it. But I have collaborated with a good friend of mine. His name is Puritu, also known as Brett Lee. He's an amazing artist in Melbourne as well, if you're ever looking for more Aboriginal musos. And yeah, it made the process a lot easier. So the version that you'll hear, like, that's released on Spotify, and that is completely, well, not completely different, but there's more guitar and there's harmonies and that sort of thing. So this is the raw version, and it's called Big Sky Country. And once again, it's about the land, but specifically Sky Country. And I wrote this recently straight after a trip from Boomerang Country. I drove my van up to Darwin, to Larrakia Country for a gig. And and then on the way back stopped on Girraway country around the Bendigo region. And yeah, this song is just about being out, you know, in those wide open spaces. If you've ever driven through the outback, you know, camped, put the swag out, you would know that feeling of that huge sky, and it's just beautiful. So yeah, it's a little bit of a story about that road trip. And Gunditjamara, which I sing at the start, means big sky in Dore language. Gunditjamara, Gunditjamara. From Larrakia to Jara, desert flowers come tracing my song lines. From the outback to the sea, big sky country. Been on the road for days, driving the highway, watching the colours and the shapes change. Big sky country. Ah, big sky country. You make me feel so small, big sky country, but connected to it all. Wake up in the morning under a blanket of stars. That never-ending horizon makes me question who we are. Big sky country. Ah, big sky country. You make me feel so small. Big sky country, but connected to it all. Guided by the eagle, shows us the way, giving safe passage for another day. Big sky country. Big sky country. You make me feel so small. Big sky country, but connected to it all. Gunditjamara. Gunditjamara. Yeah. Thank you. Did you want one more little minute song? Yeah. All right. I just don't know what time. I'm going to do one last one, and I think it's really fitting. I always like to sing this song. I usually do it at the start of my set, but I wrote this song deliberately for moments like this. I work in a lot of spaces similar to AJ, you know, doing education and stuff, and I feel like music's a really good medium to connect and share and have conversation. And so, yeah, this one's called Narambara, and then once again, it's in Girraway language. And Narambara means gather together. And yeah, you won't know what I'm singing about for the rest of the song, but it is about gathering together to heal. These are translations of some of the lyrics. Gathering together to have conversation, gathering together to listen and to learn, and gathering together to make sure that we do this so we are looking after the land, and also we are doing that for our buboops, our children, our future generations. And I think that, you know, that's the best thing that we can do, is to have those conversations and listen to each other. So yeah, this is Narambara. I'm just going to do it with no music, just me. Narambara, Narambara, Nanyagapa, Narambara, Jakanya, Momango Japa Mura, Momango Japa Mura, Narambara, Narambara, Jakanya Ja, Narambara, Wareka, Momango Japa Mura, Momango Japa Mura, Matenge Kule Mara, Matenge Kule Mara, Momango Japa Mura, Narambara, Narambara, Jakanya. Thank you.
Thank you, Carissa.
That's okay.
You always make my heart feel so warm.
Good.
Listening to you sing.
If anyone wants to check, I'll put my music name in the chat. I apologize that there's only 2 songs up there, but yeah, there'll be more soon. I'm releasing an EP or an album very soon. Thanks.
Carissa, can I ask you a question? What inspires you the most when you're writing music?
Well, that's changed a lot since I've grown up a bit. So I used to sing in a band, play guitar with some friends in like the early 20s, and it was really just about fun. But we also did it to raise money for different, you know, charities, especially like environmental ones, like Clean Ocean Foundation, and it was Save the Kimberleys at the time. So it's always been, you know, inspired by that connection to country. And then as I got a little bit older, you know, my dad passed away, and he was someone that taught me music. I remember that's the first memories of music, was sitting around the fire singing with the family and dad, and yeah, we used to do a lot of music together. And so I sort of stopped, and my brother passed away 2 years later, and I stopped even more. And I went on this big healing journey. I went to Darwin. I lived there. I lived in Yalara, which is near Uluru. I lived in Tassie. I wasn't playing any music. I was just trying to get through this grief and heal. And something that I really discovered, even though I already knew it, but consciously discovered, was that the land was healing me. And I really delved into that and started to really connect to country and go back to my country where my dad was from and my ancestors, and learn about that knowledge, learn more culture, and, you know, deep listening on country, not just going, oh, that's a nice view, and, you know, and not really taking it all in. And I realized that the land was healing me, and I needed to do something for country and the salt water and the rivers and stuff too. And I started singing in language to get even more of a connection to country. So yeah, I'd go out, I'd go up to the Dungala, the Murray River, in the beautiful River Red Gum Forest. The Barmer Forest is where my family are from, and the Bayulas, the beautiful big River Red Gums, and start singing. And, you know, that's just where it all began. And I realized that this language has been in this particular part of country for tens and thousands of years. And how else am I going to really connect to my ancestors? And and then it seems to be that every time I write a song, it's about country. But I do hope to move on from that. I feel like once I release these songs that are all about country, that I can, you know, maybe start writing about other things too. But at the moment, I'm just going with what flows.
Yeah. Can once again, can we please thank Carissa for being her?
Thank you.
And your voice that comes with you.
Thanks for having me. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
I'll stick around. I'm just going to mute myself and turn my video off.
No problem.
Thanks.
So I'm just wondering if Shiralee's on at the moment. No. Okay. What I'm going to do, guys, is give you a 2-minute break, 4-minute break till 7, and then we're coming back with our next performance. Cool? So I'll see you all back at 7. Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome back. We got intermission, right? Welcome back for our intermission. It would be great if you can turn your cameras on if you can, so we can actually see you. Our next performer coming up in about 2 minutes, she said, can I just give her another minute or so, is the amazing Shiralee Hood, who is going to talk to us and perform for us as well. I first saw Shiralee probably about 8 months ago performing at the comedy festival, and I go straight away, she's got to be one of our performers for our session 12 AGECS wrap up party. The other thing too is after that we've got Meriki coming on, who is actually Shiralee's sister, and I didn't know that. And I was saying to Meriki the other day, I've known Meriki probably about 10 or 12 years, and I've known their brother for about 25 years, and I actually didn't know they were all siblings. I actually knew them all individually, not as a family. So I learned something in the last 2 days. I'm just wondering if Shiralee is ready. I can see her little box. Is she? Shiralee, can you hear me? You might have to unmute yourself and... Oops, I've just lost her. No, I haven't lost her. The wonders of Zoom. Let's just get her. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I will introduce you to the amazing Shiralee Hood.
Brrr. Hello, everybody. Great to see you all, and thank you for having us. Always would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the country that we're on. And right now, I'm in Naarm, which is Melbourne. We say Naarm for Melbourne. If you forget that, keep it in your mind. It's like every morning when you wake up, you can go, good morning, Naarm. Yeah, that's how you can have it in your mind. It's a great one. Hope you're all enjoying, and blessings to all the ancestors, our past, present and future, and our continuing on connection to this land and connection to all of the people from Australia. And it's great to be a part of this reconciliation nation. That's what we've got to be educating. And I'm glad to see all of our early childhood educators here today. We need this. Brrr, welcome to comedy, man. This is where I live. Yeah, great to see ya. I've got the Aboriginal map in my background. I'm in my office at the moment. Love it. And always having fun, hey? Carload of blackfellas driving down the road. We see this sign, 60 only. So we pull to the side and 40 of us jump out. Yeah, it's a weird thing, eh? I always love and think about like cooking up kangaroo. Yeah, I nearly did today, but it got me a bit jumpy, you know? Yeah. Last week, as I was going to dinner with a friend, I had this fella who called me a boong. He actually called me a boong. He yelled out. He called me a boong. What? I called him an ambulance. Yeah. So it's great to see, hey, you know, it's not easy being a black fella in this country, but you always got to keep pushing and trying, you know? Like when I was going shopping, I was just going for shopping and I'm walking along. Next second I hear in the supermarket, like, coon. I'm like, what? Who said that? And then I saw this cute little girl go into the freezer section to grab cheese, man. That's when I knew I had to just chill out. So having fun, you know. And I was always pushing things in society and, you know, always think about where we can make changes, where we can change a difference. So, well, yeah, that better be money ringing. Yeah, exactly. Hello. Yes, exactly. What was that? Couple of grand. My goodness, about time you visited. I expected to call last week. Yeah, exactly. So always, I've been spending time at the Aboriginal Tent Embassy. Have you been there? That is the longest running protest in the world, the Aboriginal Tent Embassy. Yeah, we've been there for 50 years. It's the 50th anniversary this year, and we're still in tents. And it's intense. Yeah. So, I mean, I wish they'd called it the Caravan Park Embassy. At least we've had like doors to slam when we fight. At the moment, we fight like this. Well, stuff you. Yeah, exactly. And if you stuff up your zipper, it's freezing. But that's why I always said my love to them about at Tent Embassy, you know, it's hard work out there. And OMG, O is the degrees you're dealing with, you know? Yeah, exactly. And you're stuck in Canberra, man. And Canberra is built the same way politicians talk, man. Lots of roundabouts and dead ends. Roundabouts and dead ends. Yes. So it's funny being like in Canberra. My mum ended up going off to Canberra, you know. In our family, she wanted a lawyer, you know. And then I trained as a lawyer for 2 years. And then I got this theatre experience. It was a musical. And I said, shut books, you know, I'm going to do this. And then I had to ring my mum and say, hey, mum, I'm going to be an actress now, you know. I can still hear the tears, you know. Yeah. And so I ended up doing acting. And then mum goes, oh, you know, okay, then if you want to be an actress, I'll get your brother Isaac to be the lawyer, you know. And then a couple of years later, I started working at Whopper and I needed statistics, Whopper, to build up performing arts, you know. I needed statistics. So I went and got my brother and I said, come and do acting, bruh. And he's like, no, I don't want to be an actor. And I said, come on, the world needs another black Russell Crowe, bruh. Let's go, you know. So he ended up becoming an actor. Then we had to ring mum and tell her the same story. Now he's an actor. She just went, oh, my goodness, I just want a lawyer in the family. And I said, okay, mum, if you want a lawyer in the family, you're going to have to be it. And she's like, stuff you kids, I'm going to be a lawyer. So she enrolled in ANU in Canberra and got in, which is absolutely deadly, and went and became a lawyer. So that is brilliant to mum. And, you know, as kids are, we go and follow mum, you know. So we were there looking at Canberra going, I don't know. You know, well, Canberra is the place of public servants, you know. I'm straight off the mish. I know how to treat servants. So I went there. So I went into Canberra and I'm like, yeah, where is my drink? Get me my food. Where are my darn slippers? Yeah. So later from the lockup, I had to review my situation. And that's how I started at the embassy. Yeah, so always giving love to them. And because it's hard work in that cold, especially if we haven't got like you know, we've got a sacred fire that keeps burning all the time. It goes about that far deep, you know, a couple of meters deep. And we always have that. And we're not just burning like, you know, picket fences and McDonald's wrappers on this fire. Yeah, it's all natural. It's all natural, our wood, our gum wood. And so when we're at the embassy and there's no donations of wood or no one's got a car, we have to go out and find the wood. Pick the big piece that'll burn all day, and then we drag it back. Yeah, it's like dragging a man home after a long night out. Yeah, you don't want to, but there's some love that keeps you dragging, you know. Yeah, love it. But it's so brilliant that we have this sacred fire, and it is special, and it shows our sovereignty, you know. That's why I always send all the shout outs. It's hard work dealing with all that, you know. Whether in Canberra, we said the first people who did that, 72, said we're not moving until we get our human rights, and we're still there. And then that's how the new Parliament House came about. They thought they'll build one just up here a bit further up the hill, because they were sick of looking at us, man. But that's how you get a country built, man. So love it, and always give our love to the embassy mob. Yeah, because, you know, when you're putting up looking at clowns across the road for that long. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't want to talk politics, so I'll break it down. Poly meaning many, ticks, blood-sucking mongrels. Exactly. I told you we should have built that Abbott-proof fence, man. Yeah, that bugger keeps coming back, eh? Yeah, exactly. And what the heck is an envoy, mate? What's an envoy? I don't know how we got back, man. It's like Abbott soup continuously. You know, but always think of that. And he's shocking, you know. Always think about how when he was Prime Minister, he made himself like, well, he was also the Minister for Indigenous Affairs, and he was the Minister for Women Affairs. If he was, yeah, if he was Minister for Left-Handed Affairs, I'd just kill myself now. Oh my heck, you know. And the first thing he did as the Minister for Women Affairs was put the price of Tampax up. I know. That's the first thing he did. I called it the bleeding tax, man. Bleeding tax. And it was like, okay, ladies, let's just boycott them. Let's just boycott and bleed all over the place, mate. Bleed all over the place and bleed properly, man. We'll go and sit on their white suede couches. I don't care if you don't go for Sydney Swans. There you go. Good to see, but always love it. Good to see. But we've got to be able to talk about it. You know, I mean, a lot of people have been doing different things to get attention from the government. And that's what we got to keep, you know, getting behind and backing. This is what I love. You know, one thing that we all did, especially around the country, is walk. When we walk, it's so good for us. And we've done it. Here right now, like in Victoria, we've had Barack, who walked from Healesville and that country, and then started walking. And he walked twice to Parliament, you know? Really important to acknowledge that. And then we've got like Michael Long, who did the long walk, which we all know about. You know, he walked for a long distance, and he walked from Melbourne to Canberra to talk to Parliament, you know, which is a big thing. And another one which happened was Clinton Pryor. Clinton Pryor walked from Perth to Canberra. He walked up to Redfern too, and then back down to Canberra, which was deadly of him, go and see all the mob in Redfern. But like, you know, I really applaud them for walking. But I still said to him, hey, you fellas, don't you know you can catch planes and buses and drive cars these days? We don't have to walk. But they said, okay, that's in the heart. But I love to give children education on those walking, you know. I used to work in the juvenile prisons, and when I told him that, I said, so, okay, I'd love you all to close your eyes and tell me now, where would you walk? Where would you walk now if something came up? You know, what would you walk for? And one of them put his hand up and went, I'll walk right home now if you let me. For freedom. Yeah, hey. That's what I always say. We've got to keep an eye on our kids locked up. You know, they're too young. They're too young. And some of them were so cute. I was like, oh, get around my neck. You can be like a scarf and we'll walk the heck out. Yeah. So always thinking of them because I get worried about this world turning into planet of the apps, man. Planet of the apps. Yeah. That's how it's turned, you know. That's how it's turned, especially over this COVID time and stuff. I mean, I'm part of it too. I joined the I family, you know. So I've got my iMac, my iPhone, I've got my iPod, iPads, I got my condoms, I fuck. Looking for my I-man in my I-apartment. Yeah. And it's great to have that. It's great to have all family get together, you know. Are there any shows of people, like when you think about it, who in your family has iPhone and who has Android? Already they've got us split right there, isn't it? Yeah, we've got to be careful. And it's crazy because, like, I've got, like, 6-month-old nephews and nieces who just grab the phone, you know, you can't get your hands. They grab the phone and they're like, they know the difference between scrolling and sliding, you know. It is crazy. Exactly. And then I've got to take my iPhone to my 5-year-old nephew to get it fixed every now and then. Yeah, he's like, it's easy, Aunt. It's easy. I'm like, yeah, cook dinner. That's easy. Cook dinner there. Yeah. And then I've got my 15-year-old niece. One time she comes in, she's walking around like, you know, lip dragging on the ground, you know, knocking all my furniture over. I'm like, Aunt, what's going on? She's like, oh, Mum confiscated my phone, Aunt. I'm like, yeah, good job, good job. Get out there and go and climb a tree, bub. Get out there, climb a tree. You know, the only way to get kids to climb trees these days? Chuck the mobile phone up there. You watch them climb, mate. Yeah. Love our kids, you know, because it's important just to stay. I get worried about, you know, how they call them, like we've got the screens and then we've got a whole family of people who go there. We've got our labels, our colours, everything that works. Then you got a whole family travelling together to their big box. They go into their separate boxes and then they all watch separate little boxes. It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, there's a reason why they call them tablets, man. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Yes, always. And like nowadays, catching up on Facebook, on all these different screen styles, even what we're doing today. We've been Zooming for the last blooming like 3 or 4 years. It's a great thing to learn about, but hey, we can't just live our lives like this. Can't just live our lives like this because it's so important. Planet of the Apps cannot happen, man. We've got to keep strong. Always think about like how we've had humanism throughout our whole life and what's going to happen in the future if we're just by ourselves. That's Planet of the Apps on the way. You know, we've got to be careful of that. I clipped, we clipped, you clipped. Did you know that there are over 800 species of eucalypt trees, and koalas eat 68 of those species. So we've got to find out which ones the koalas eat and plant them before they all go. Yeah? Always. I-calypt, we-calypt, eucalypt thinking, always of our animals. Really important to have a look, like just where you know, like how brilliant Aboriginal people are. This is what I love. When we saw trees like that, even as youngsters, we had to stop there and have a look and count all the boomerangs we saw in the tree. And we were like, what, Unc? I can't see any boomerangs, you know? He's like, look carefully. Every time you see like an arch or a bend in the branch, that's a boomerang. That's a potential boomerang. So then when you look up there, you can at least see about 50 different boomerangs in a tree. Really important to do that, hey? Aboriginal people, we're so clever, we make sticks come back. But it's all about family, man. And I love family and how we've got our great networks of everybody looking after each other, you know? Love my aunties, always do a shout out to our aunties and our uncles. Love yous very much, you know, because there is stuff you can't tell your mum and dad, but you need that closeness, you know. I love all my family like that, you know. They're the ones who bail you out when you fuck up when you're 15, you know. Love it, you know. I bought my auntie a Fitbit. She's like really happy, and I'm like, yes, Aunt. We're having a conversation about like bikini bodies coming out for summer. Yay. You know, we try. These days, not quite sure what to wear, but I got my aunt a Fitbit. Yeah, but just because you're wearing the Fitbit, Aunt, don't make you fit. You got to do the work. Yeah. Good old Aunt. So it's all really, it's all important with the Fitbit. And what's going on with the weather lately? You don't know whether the weather is heather or sether. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do I wear my bikini or my leather jacket? Bikini or leather jacket? Yeah, it's all a bit crazy today. And this whole year, apparently in Melbourne, they're trying to put the whole weekend, summer into one weekend. I know. I can't wait for that weekend, except the whole of summer in one weekend. It's such a shame I'm going to Tasmania that weekend. It's crazy. And my heater bill this year has been just crazy. You know I should have got married a lot earlier. It would have made it much easier, you know. And at least at the time we could have gone halves in the heater bill. You know, it's been freezing here in Melbourne, but we're still going on. Always think about reconciliation. What is this? Reconciliation is like the government under Paul Keating 20-something years ago did a Redfern address. He did a Redfern address. And as the Prime Minister, he said, okay, we're going to have a look at all your countries here, and we're going to talk about treaties from each country. Because we're like Europe, you know. We're like Europe. Go 2 hours, we speak different language, different art. And Paul Keating put reconciliation money for treaty, you know. That was money for treaty. And then John Howard got in, and all that money became reconciliation money. So that is how we got the money to do reconciliation. It makes me worried because it's 20 years down the track. And what is reconciliation? You know, I remember back then when it first started, I remember a lot of school kids coming up to me and saying, oh, hello, are you Aboriginal? Are you Aboriginal? Yeah. And so I was like, yes, hello, this is great. Reconciliation, I'm going to learn a lot, you know. Can't wait for this. And then the other week, reconciliation. And people are still saying the words. Are you Aboriginal or are you Indigenous? I'm like, I'm Nyunga Kernai Gunditjamara. If we want reconciliation, please get to know our countries. But that's what I'll say for reconciliation. And I think everybody who are working in it and educating can just see the beauty of our children, the beauty of our people, of our men and women, and strive to have that, you know. Always think about business and black business, you know. And people go, oh, I don't know. Aboriginal people are not real business people. I don't think we've had business here. And it's like, yes, we have. We've had business in this country. We've had men's business, women's business, sorry business, mind your own bloody business, none of your business. We've had it all, you know? And it's like, yeah, we've got all the different traits, you know? We've got passion. We've got our minds, different styles, you know? We got management skills. Where I come from, we got family, we got 20 people in our house, you know. For our mums and our aunties and uncles to get all the kids up, showered, lunch, and out the door by 8:30, that's black management, man. That's hard work, you know. We've got all that. And our networking skills. Where are you going? I'm going Woolworths, man. I'm going Woolworths. Yeah, we can talk long distance. That's a great skill, you know. That's what I always say. We need black business. And the other thing we've always spoken about needing is media representation. We need our media representation, you know. We were like, we want media representation. Then they ended up just putting us over there again at the side and giving us our own station. I want our station to be able to have our own neighbours, our own bold and the black and the beautiful. That would be a great show, wouldn't it? That would be a great show. The bold, the black and the beautiful. Yeah. And then we could have our own like bachelor, you know? Go the bachelors, you know? Got our own style. But it is funny because all we wanted was to have a family on Neighbours. You know? Imagine if we had a family on Neighbours. Then you'd know about all the different issues we have along the way, you know? Can't pay an electricity bill? Oh, well, get the picket fence. Yeah. And then, you know, then as you go on, you can make sure you have fence fixing parties all the time. Yeah. Because what makes good neighbours are good fences. Yeah. Which is really good and great to see. Like now we have a strong Aboriginal community on the television where our young people can look and see that we can be up there too, you know. When I was younger, we didn't always have that, you know. We were still in the ration areas, you know. So when my mum worked, and she worked very hard to look after all of us kids as well, we got paid in cans of food, you know. They used to bring over boxes of cans, and those cans never had things like labels, you know. So as a family, we'd see all these cans and we'd have to get together and just go, okay, let's do this together, fams. So we'd sit there and click open each tin. We'd pick a tin and I'll be like, come on, bully beef. Come on, bully beef, let's go. Oh, dog food. Oh, well. Here, Butch. Yeah. Next tin, it'd be like, come on, ricey cream. Come on, ricey cream. Dog food. Here, Butch. You know, we got through it all, and Butch always got a good feed. So, yeah.
Shiralee, what's the final thing you want to say to us? I know, I love to hear you all night. But
I know. Yeah, good,
I'm going to jump in.
Great. No, I'm terrible with timing because I always go into the dream time. Yeah, you know. In the world of comedy, I've got like stab marks in the back of my neck from other comedians who are telling me to get the block off. You know, I love it. Love them. And I just always think, make sure you take care of yourself and family, take care of the land. Make sure you keep an eye on the mining companies because there's a reason why they call them mines and not yours. Take care. Great to see you. Thanks for having us. I'm Shiralee Hood. Brr.
Please give Shiralee a round of applause. I know, or wave your hands if you want to. Let us see that we're actually there for her.
Yay.
Thank you so much, Shiralee.
Big sister.
Oh, thank you, sis. Oh, that is so good. So great to see you all. Thank you for having us. Take care and have a wonderful series.
Yeah, thank you. And have a great performance tonight.
Thank you. Yes, I'll be running there now.
Yeah, guys, thank you for joining us. Bye.
Thank you. See you, team.
That was the wonderful Shiralee Hood. You got to say she's this funny, isn't she? So
That was funny.
It was funny, yeah. So I'm going to throw over to Meriki. Meriki, are you around?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. That was your sister performing.
I know. Who'd have thought, eh?
I know.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not going to drag it on anymore. I'm going to go throw over to the wonderful, the most talented Miss Hood.
Hey. Cool. Always an honor, always a blessing. They say, you know, there's more than one hood in the room. It's a good thing. So hood thing's a good thing. Which, yeah, we make sure we got plenty of. And then on top of that, talking about the beauty of music, even just spoken word, self-expression, body movement, art. It's always about healing. I look at it, the music industry for me is more like medicine, if you will. So music for me has always been my medicine, always been my healing place. But when it comes to things like the music industry, that can sometimes be a little bit more like a drug because you got your amazing highs, and when you're somebody, everybody wants a piece of that somebody. But then you've also got the amazing lows as well. And that's why it's hard sometimes for any music, any creative writer, any person in the industry to keep being in the industry. Sometimes you just kind of got to go away for a bit, find yourself again and come back. So I've had a bit of technical difficulty, unfortunately. My laptop doesn't want to turn on. So I'm going to be kind of doing a bit more a cappella style, which I hope is okay. A little bit of thinking on the spot, if you will. But yeah, I just figured there's no right or wrong way when it comes to music and self-expression, you know. It's all fair, it's all real, it's all heartfelt. So That's one of the verses I'm about to drop. You might have heard of it already. It's Oether track. So Oether is a bunch of amazing, talented, beautiful, single, independent mums that, despite what the music industry said, we all pulled through, and now we've got our songs playing all around the world, not just the country, the world. We've even got a lot of our music actually playing live in Los Angeles and New York. Which is just amazing to have. We even had shout outs from Spinderella from Salt and Pepper. Spinderella, hit it up one time, move it. You remember Spinderella? You all remember Spinderella. So yeah, to get a shout out from, you know, one of the greats is amazing. And same with Chuck D. Chuck D, he's been actually, he's got his own radio station in New York, so he's been pumping our stuff as well. So it's definitely an honor for me. I'm very lucky, but my life has always gone from one extreme to another. So when things are going good, they're going amazingly good. When things are going bad, it's bad. But so my life mission is to try and find that happy medium, but I'll let the music talk for itself, yeah, because that's why we're here. So I could finally lay my head down and relax with the music, some lines, traditional sounds. Put it down for them ages of my ancestral lineage and dream time of a nation. So I guess we're getting reacquainted. Music is my backbone, my music has to make it. And the family that laid the foundation, there's healing in the wisdom of our future generations. That's why the song done and put it in the air, and everybody here and there, we gotta feel it, yeah. If you're from the Brody Bronx or Chocolate Lane in Fitzroy, Don Bosco to Coburg, or the down and outs in Glenroy, these streets weren't paved with gold, but they taught me all that I know. Bus Hill to the Footscray Flats, I still call Melbourne my home. Now I'm coming home. I fell in love with the imperfections of city life. That nitty gritty, go hold it down, baby, earn your stripes. Sure, Melbourne's got some characters, but that's what I like. A run on my kid, I was out all hours of the night. Good luck keeping me cooped inside. My taste for adventure had me building up an appetite with individuals as colorful as the scenic lights. These people raised me, it showed me how to survive, it showed me how to laugh even when there was no hope in sight. So if you're from the Brody Bronx or Chocolate Lane in Fitzroy, Don Bosco to Coburg, all the down and outs in Glenroy, these streets weren't paved with gold, but they taught me all that I know. Bus Hill to the Footscray Flats, I still call Melbourne my home. Now I'm coming home. So yeah, that's something we've kind of been working on. Thank you. I'm just thinking of what next track. Another track I'm working on, because it's all a bit about since that Blood Moon hit, I'm guessing those creative flows, especially around the women. I've noticed a lot of us have been, I don't know, since that Blood Moon hit, we're a little bit more sensitive to vibrations, and we've all kind of gotten a bit creative with the writing and, you know, paying homage and respect to the elders and ancestors, the old people. So in a way, I kind of see us as we're just vessels, you know, we're just their instruments to come through us, you know. They're that light in the darkness, and they always shine on us when we need them the most, and they always help us get through. And I think that's where a lot of my creativity comes from. I don't even think it's me half the time. I think it's, you know, messages that the old ones want to share, you know, making sure that we're still keeping on track. So lately I've been doing a lot of songwriting, and yeah, just been very blessed, hoping to get into the studio sooner than later. But yeah, I've got a bit of a creative one. Unfortunately, once again, it's a cappella, so cause you're a heartbreaker, Bet you didn't know he's a heartbreaker. Don't say I didn't warn you so. Heartbreaker, you should never know, 'cause a heartbreaker is such a selfish. It's a man's world. He's a man. He's a man's man in a man's world. He likes to brag of all his little trophy girls, how he lines them up just to watch them fall. It's their collectibles and souvenirs, his spoils of war. Sure, he sounds sincere, but we're all the same. Just another nudge in the about the games. Sure, he likes to talk, but look how he loves to play. It's such a shame, 'cause none of us will ever be that he's a heartbreaker. Bet you didn't know he's a heartbreaker. Said you didn't warn you so. Heartbreaker, you should let him go, 'cause a heartbreaker is such a selfish. But I guess it's a blessing I'm not one of them innocent girls you corrupt with your friends. And I'm not so naive, there's no need to pretend. 'Cause in this game I think you met your match. I'm a heartbreaker. Bet you didn't know I'm a heartbreaker. Don't tell I didn't warn you so. Heartbreaker, and you should let him go, 'cause a heartbreaker. I'm such a selfish. So waste your time still hating me. In fact, I love it. With my name on the tip of your tongue, exceeding the best, above and beyond it. Keep going, keep talking, but when all the damage said and done, you done found it in there, you're wondering where your cover's gone. Well, we're still here and we're still shining. We're on our game grinding. We're hitting number one, so tracks a year, we still climbing. It's such a shake considering I'm the closest you come to fame. There's no denying this when everybody knows my name. Stuck in this scandalous game, only got yourself to blame. So you better go back to the drawing board and rekindle your fortune and fame. 'Cause a heartbreaker, such a shudder, he's a heartbreaker. I bet you didn't know you so. Heartbreaker, you should let it go, 'cause a heartbreaker, such a selfish. Thank you.
Meriki, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your voice with us tonight. I'm always a fan, and I love hearing you perform. So again, can everyone just thank Meriki once again? And if you're not, she can't hear you clapping, so I might have to just wave your hands actually in the air. Or, hey Meriki, what's one message you would want to give everybody about reconciliation?
Oh, do we have time? A lot of mixed feelings, but it definitely serves as a purpose. Like everything, it does demonstrate the obvious need for change. However, we still have a decent journey to go. However, us as human species, any progress is a big step. You know, naturally human beings, we're slow to progress in general. So the fact that it's out there and it's all happening, it's beautiful. I am lucky that I'm in the position that I am as the Aboriginal Liaison Officer for Gunditjamara, to be able to do some education around my people and where we come from. And honestly, I'm very blessed to grow up in the time that I have and being able to share that side of wealth and knowledge from more of an Aboriginal perspective. And, you know, I guess my main role, or especially at VACA, cultural awareness training, we did a lot of things around networking and helping educate DHHS, Child Protective Services, McKillop Family Services, Anglicare, Berry Street, Orange Door, the list goes on. But our job extensively was just teaching people a bit about some of our cultural practices and where they might confuse or possibly blur the lines on what is or isn't abuse. When it comes to our children, the lowest rate for our children being removed is under the grounds of sexual and physical assault or abuse, which is obvious. It's a very black and white form of abuse. It's very limited area for grey. But when it comes to things like neglect, it's up to every individual's personal preference. So that's why it's important that we do educate. Even things like co-sleeping could be considered a form of emotional abuse. So I do have to kind of go in there and explain, no, that's a cultural practice, because if you've ever been in the middle of the bush at 4 a.m, good luck seeing half a foot in front of yourself, let alone trying to figure out where your children are. So it does make sense that we still co-sleep. We have evolved and adapted quite successfully well in such a short amount of time, given that 200 and hitting almost 50 years now, in more of that Western world scope. But the reality is, if it ain't broke, we ain't planning on fixing it. And in my mind, sleeping beside my children it's a form of safety. I know where they are. I could feel my son close to me. If he was on his stomach, especially as a baby, I could feel that. I could turn him around. I could, potentially prevent that SIDS, and I could form that healthy, natural bond as a mother, as a parent, to make sure my child felt safe and had a lot of self-regulating habits from me, embedding that concept. So things like that, it's very important. Another example, things like DHHS might walk into a house up Northern Territory way, see there's no food in the house, automatically assume the worst. Like, okay, clearly not feeding their children, that's a form of neglect. If you've ever been to Northern Territory or Darwin and actually tried to buy groceries like fresh fruit and veggies, a small bucket worth or a small basket, you're looking at a good $100. It's not cheap, because it costs a lot of money to export all of these fresh fruit and veggies in that kind of heat. So they'd go out, they'd go and hunt, and they'd share that large kangaroo or bit of that wallaby or emu around community. So there was always food there. And what they were actually doing is not just getting back to the connection and living off the land. They were also making sure their children got the best, healthiest form of organic meat. I don't know if you've tried to buy organic meat anywhere, but it costs an arm and a leg nowadays. So their children were being fed. It's just the concept of where's the obvious, where's the evidence was never really there. But in saying that, the children had more than enough energy. You could tell they were being fed because they were doing what normal, happy, excited toddlers and children do, is running up and down and bouncing off the walls and just taking in everything, which is beautiful, because if they weren't, they'd be a little bit more lethargic. They wouldn't have the energy. They'd be tired all the time. So you could tell they're doing something right, as opposed to our kids that just sit in front of that box. And what did Big Sister say? What is it? Return of the apps, eh? World of the apps. We can't have that happen. We do need to get our children back out in bush and back to that reconnection, because, it wasn't broke. We didn't need to fix it. We should keep practicing that. It's beautiful to see our children out there in the bush, living off country and feeling that connection and that safety and that happiness. So just like reconciliation, it definitely has its place. And things are happening. We are coming from that, and it is good to see that sort of progress. And once again, human nature, we are slow to progress because we get comfortable and our brains like to stick to things we're familiar with. So yeah, but thank you so much, AJ. Love you, my brother.
Meriki. Thank you very much. Again, a round of applause or shake of hands for Meriki. Okay, guys, we're getting near the end of the night, but we have got some more special things to show you. I've got 10 minutes to just introduce you to series 1 reconciliation series that just finished tonight at 8 o'clock. As soon as we finish this recording, it's like finished. But we're determined here at AGECS, and we've actually also got to introduce series 2. Series 2 has been recorded, and it's at the moment live as we speak right now, right on the Girraway Ganyi YouTube at the moment, until AGECS can get it up, which will be in the next few days, is series 2, Meet the Ambassadors. There are 10 reconciliation ambassadors with AGECS, and we have interviewed them all. We've asked them a series of questions around topics like reconciliation, January the 26th, and helping to embed curriculum, their thoughts, their ideas, their dreams. And what we've actually done is created 10 videos for you to see. The first one out at the moment as a little, little surprise beforehand, this is the launch of it, is Tristan Williams. Tristan was with us from 2020 to 2021. He helped with the design of the first rap that we did. And we asked Tristan back to be part of the Meet the Ambassador series. So Tristan's video is out as we speak right now. It just went up on my YouTube channel a couple of minutes ago while Meriki was performing. I was listening. I was also putting that up online. And if you think that we can't do any better than that, we've also got series 3. So series 3 is 6 particular videos. They are a summary of the video. Look, when we meet the ambassadors, you'll hear them speak of all the issues, and we've cut out sections from what they've spoken about, and we're running a series of 6 specials, which are what the ambassadors think of January the 26th. And that is the first video that is out in series 3. The link has just come straight onto the link there. You will see nearly all the ambassadors. There's a couple that aren't in that one, but they will appear in the future ones, that are sharing their understanding of what 26th of January means to them. So series 3 is out. The remaining of the series will all start next year in January, but for tonight, we're releasing both series 2 and series 3. I'm getting a bit emotional. It's now come to the end of the reconciliation series number 1. We've been together now nearly over 12 months, because we started the first one nearly 18 months ago, and we've just now closing series 1. I want to say thank you guys for hanging with me for the last 18 months through 12 amazing workshops. Through, as I said, we've had SNAKE, we've had VACA, we've had Grandmas Against Removal, we've had the Department of Education, we've had the KESOs, we had Shay and Taylor talking to us about Aboriginal perspectives. We had Kerry Arabina speaking. We had Vai. And tonight, the gift I gave to you was trying to get some of the people that I really love, the performers that I really love, that demonstrate community. And I brought them to you tonight as our final kind of conclusion. I don't have anything more to say. I'm getting a bit emotional because it's been a long ride.
AJ, I'd just like to say something. I just, you've just absolutely excelled yourself. I don't know. You're amazing. AJ and I were having dinner last year, and I was saying how amazing the launch was and his presentation. And I said, gee, we could do a reconciliation series. And AJ just took the ball and ran with it. It was like, whoa, Roadrunner, gone. And we have had, this is the resources that we're going to be able to use these resources over the coming years. they have got longevity. It isn't just about 2022. Share this. We're getting transcriptions done as well. We want to really have multimodal ways of bringing this across. I think the seminar, this year, this last of the series is just incredible because it reminds us that the messages come in many, many different ways. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have so many messages for us that come through, not just from talking. Tonight was amazing, and every night has been. So on behalf of the whole early childhood profession, we are so, so lucky that you've done this for us, AJ. I just can't, words can't express, honestly. It's the most incredible tool, and it's really positioned AGECS in a way that we can really do what we dearly wanted to do and really lead early childhood, the early childhood profession in a really special way, broadly, deeply and broadly. So thank you on behalf of the Association of Graduates in Early Childhood Studies from the bottom of our hearts.
Thanks, Alannah. I just want to say finally to everyone, I want to thank Carissa, I want to thank Shiralee, I want to thank Meriki for performing tonight. As Alannah said, our words can be expressed in many, many different ways. And the women that presented tonight, one spoke language for us. One gave us a real funny side to things, and Meriki gave a very unique and wonderful rap. And Meriki, you know, to have your music played in like New York and overseas is absolutely amazing. I love you so much. So guys, thank you for hanging with us for series 1. Series 2 and 3 are out right now. I've got to go. Thanks a lot. See you later. Bye.